Start. Hi guys, this is Amanda. Welcome back to my channel, Gemini Witch 83. I know I used to do oracle card readings. I'm not sure if you're seeing me. Never mind. Cut that. Start. Hi guys, this is Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. I'm trying not to be in the picture because I kind of look like a hobo right now. It's like 2:30 in the morning. Anyway, I used to do oracle card readings on my channel, which I plan to start those again soon. I need to get a new tripod for my camera, so right now I'm using my phone propped up on a bunch of like containers. I need a tripod, I need to get a light, I need to get a microphone, I need to get all that good stuff so that my videos can be better. But today, what I want to do, I have recently started pouring paint in the past 2 months, and I wanted to just test out doing a quick, I'm going to try to do a quick video of doing 4 ceramic tiles. I've done 8 tiles so far, and they've turned out pretty well. I've done some canvases of different sizes and canvas panels, and I don't like them as well as I like the tiles, so today I'm going to try 4 at one time. That's the most I've ever done at one time. I started out doing 1 at a time, and then over the weekend I did 2 at a time, and it worked out pretty well. First of all, I'm going to show you my colors. I know for sure that I'm using silver, and I know for sure that I'm using cadmium yellow light hue. Cadmium yellow light hue. Yes. And then I have 2 blues, and honestly, I really can't remember which 2 blues they are, and since I pre-mixed them over the weekend whenever I did 4 other tiles, and I used a blue in those other tiles too, and I can't remember which blue I used in that and which 2 I left for these. So when they're mixed with Floetrol, they're lighter than what they normally are, so I'm going to show you the 4 possibilities that it could be, and then when they dry maybe we can tell better. It's either cerulean blue or cobalt blue for my lighter shade, and I'm thinking that I might have used the cobalt because I have something else planned in mind for the cerulean, but I might have used cerulean so that I could have the contrast of the lighter and the darker. I'm not sure. And the darker one is either phthalo blue or ultramarine blue, and whichever one of these it's not is the one that I used over the weekend, and I really can't remember. So that's as close as I can tell you as for the colors. I have never mixed them up and left them in containers before to see how they do. I had intended to use them all at the same time, but I ran out of time and didn't feel like it. So here is one of them, and for today what I need to do is check the consistency. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, but need to check the consistency. I may need to add some more Floetrol. I may need to add a little bit of water. I haven't put my silicone in them yet, so we'll just see how it goes. And it kind of looks like, to me, I think that's the ultramarine blue, and that kind of looks like, I'm thinking that it's the cobalt, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I still need to clean my tiles, and I need to check the consistency on my paints. I haven't added my silicone yet, and then I'm going to layer them in my cup, and then I'm going to pour all 4 at one time. What I did over the weekend was I layered them all in my cup, and I poured on 2, but I had a ton left over, so then I scraped it all up, and I did 2 more. And the second 2 turned out kind of tealish, greenish, because I had used cadmium yellow dark hue and maybe phthalo blue and white and gold. Sorry, I'm having a hard time opening that. So, oh, I spilled that one a little bit. So let's just wipe that out. This time I intend to do put all my colors in the cup and pour all 4 at one time, and then we'll tilt and see how it turns out. And these little cups, I got them 4 for $1 at Family Dollar, which is our dollar store. And I haven't, like I said, this is the first time I've mixed up paint and left it sit out. I bought them as an intention to like mix up extra paint and put in here so that I don't have to mix up my paint every time. Or like all of these things sitting down here, you can see they're for what I'm going to put my tiles on when they're done so that they can dry. And these can work the same way. Like I can use one of the, I bought 3 packs of these. They're 4 for $1, so now I have 12. I can use them for drying my tiles. This is an extra one that I started to use Saturday, but I didn't have quite enough paint for a 5th one, so I just wiped it off. I'm keeping that to use later. These ones are 4 brand new tiles. I need to finish mixing up my paint, and I need to clean my tiles. And if this gets really long, I may edit some of this out. But since this is my first pouring video, and I just am doing this as a test with my phone, I'm tempted to just leave it all in there. And then take your feedback as to how to do the rest of them going forward. So what do I need to do? First of all, I reuse everything. Right now, today I think I have a new pair of gloves. This is the first time I've used a new pair of gloves in forever because I washed my gloves and I reused them several times. I wash my sticks and I use them again. I wash these little medicine cups and I use them over and over and over and over. These little bottles are like alcohol, rubbing alcohol and water. And sometimes I use these to spray in my paint, but my first bottle of Floetrol was thin and I didn't need to add much water or alcohol to my paint to thin it down, or to alcohol to get rid of the bubbles or whatever. But I find the alcohol in your paint, just a couple spritzes, it helps it pour out of the cup easier too. But I love these little bottles. What was I going to say? This part I may cut out because I forget what I was going to say. I think I was just telling you what these are, the alcohol and the water. Here's my silicone. I got this silicone in a kit. Oh yeah, I know where I was going. My first batch of Floetrol that I got was, I think it was a quart or half gallon. Can't remember. But it was a lot thinner. The Floetrol I have now is in a gallon thing, and it's a lot thicker, so I have to actually add a little bit of water to these. The first Floetrol I had, I didn't really need to add much water, and I'm sorry if you can see me adjusting my pajamas because it's 2:30 in the morning. Anyway, we're going to take a stick and stir this up and test out the consistency. This has no water in it yet, and it's just the paint and the Floetrol, and I left it sit. It's been sitting for 2 days in that container, but the consistency is about the same that it was the other day. It's just a tad bit thick. I like it a little bit thinner. I don't know if you can see that very well. It looks pretty good. It's just a tiny bit thick, so I may, and I have a bottle of water here that I put in the paint that I used the other day. All I've done is open that and poured it in. But today, I'm going to add my silicone and I'm going to use my sprays of water, I think. Well, no, my water's kind of low. But I'm afraid if I pour out of the bottle, I'll pour too much. So we'll do, this silicone came in the set with the first Floetrol that I got. And like I said, it was really, the Floetrol was thin, but that's beside the point. I'm sorry. This video is going to be annoying because it's my tester. It's my first painting video, so I'm going to be annoying. But this silicone, it comes out really small in really small drops, so I add the first couple times I added just a little bit, and I wasn't getting really any cells at all. This time I'm going to add a little bit more. I don't know if you can see how that is, and then I'll stir it up a little bit. I'm not getting really great cells with this silicone yet, so what I may do is order another kind of silicone and try it too and compare. I'm just going to add my silicone. And it looks like I'm putting a lot in. I'm putting 6 to 8 drops in these. I think I put about 6 in the silver and I'm putting 8 in the colors. But whenever, well, that one just kind of ran out. Whenever I actually do the pour, you'll notice that it really doesn't sell very much, even whenever I use my torch. My torch really stinks. Like if I need to order another one of those too. If I turn it up, it has a good flame, but it always shuts off. If I try to wave it around, it shuts off. So I can only use it on this low one, and it doesn't really help me get sales very much, but I don't know if that's the torch or the silicone. Anyway, we're going back to my yellow paint. Well, we haven't been to that yet, but we're putting in the silicone, stirring it. It's just a little bit thick. And it really hasn't thickened as it sat in those little containers, so that's good. Those little containers are 4 for $1 from Family Dollar, but this Floetrol is thicker than the last batch I had, so I'm still going to have to add some water. But right now I'm stirring in my silicone, giving it a little stir and checking the consistency of all of my paints. I'm not sure if you can see. That's just a little bit thick to me. It takes it a minute before it falls off the stick, so I think that's too thick. But we're going to stir them all up with the silicone. Just a few, like, sometimes I do 3 stirs, sometimes I do 8, sometimes I do more. It just depends what mood I'm in. I like the number 3 and the number 8, but sometimes I do more because it's just kind of sitting around the edges. I'm going to try spraying water in first and see if that is enough to, why don't I fill this up? Instead of pouring out of the bottle, I'm afraid I'm going to pour too much into the cup, so I'm going to spray my water in to thin my paint out a little bit. And I do usually do about 3 sprays of water for this much paint, because these are just the little 1-ounce medicine cups, and right now they're all half full. They're all at the 15 cc line, so they're half full. They're yeah, the full size is 30, so we're just going to pour some. I sprayed more water because this is thicker than it usually is. Stir it up and check our consistency again. Still a little bit thick. I think I'm going to have to spray a lot more than what I normally spray. There, we did 16 sprays that time. Or I could have just poured a little bit out. I don't know if you can see this. I really hope you can't see me. That's more like what I like. It just kind of runs off, and you can see, like, it looks like a mound, but it just kind of dissolves in there. It's not really a mound. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can, I hope you can't see me, but it's just, it leaves like a mark where it goes in, but it really just runs off the stick. It's still a tiny bit thick, but I think once I add, I usually add a few sprays of alcohol to help get rid of the bubbles and stuff. That helps it thin out some, and that helps it come out of the cup a lot better. That was goopy for some reason. This, well, we have some kind of a little, I save extra paper towels too, but they're down here in a bag because if they're out within reach, my dog will snatch them, try to eat them, and I don't let her eat the paper towels. Okay, so we had a little Floetrol bump in there, so I took that out. It's still a little bit thick, and this is probably why now my silicone's not going to sell at all because I've stirred it so much. See, it gets like one big lump that falls off. I may have to actually pour some water in. because I'm not getting quite enough water in there, I don't think. The spraying the water is not helping. We're just gonna do a little bloop, bloop. What, that might be too much. If my paint is now too thin, then I'll have to put some more paint in it. Oh my, I think I ruined my paint. I may have to mix up some more silver because I think I ruined my silver paint. Now it's just water. See, now that's just like water because I put too much water in. Poop-de-doop. Yeah, that's really thin. I'm an idiot. Now there's some pink paint in there somewhere from something. All right, we're gonna set this aside and I'm gonna put this back in one of these and save it for later because I can add more silver paint to it and thicken it back up later. Because that is way too thin, and I'll just use that again another time and add more silver to it, and it'll thicken it back up. But for now, I don't want more silver than I have of anything else, so I'm just gonna, I'm sorry, this is making the video really long and really boring. So let's find the silver and find one of my cups. But I can move these out of the way and you can watch me mix up one of my paints. I just get the dog hair out of there. I just put a little squirt because I don't want very much because I'm not using very much paint. I'm not using very much of any color. And this, my Floetrol is in a gallon jug, so I put it in a water bottle so that it's easier for me to pour since I use such small amounts, and I just pour some in there. And I take my stick, so I can use the same one because it's silver. Take my stick and I stir, and scrape across the bottom, and scrape across the sides. And the metallics take a little bit longer to mix up than the regular paint, but it'll come around eventually to get all the lumps of paint and get it all mixed in. I'm sorry, I know this is boring. I wish there was something to say. I'm sorry I messed up my paint and then I have to do it over again. See, it takes a while to get the lumps to go, and then I just check it to see how much it is, and it's at like the 10 line, and right now I'm trying to get all of them to 15, and I find whenever I add a little bit more Floetrol it mixes up better too. I'm sorry, you may not even be able to see this, and I know I keep saying it, I hope you can't see me because I look like a hobo. Because it's 2:45 in the morning, and I'm a night owl, and I'm normally up at night, but I'm telling you, at the middle of the night I'm in my pajamas. And my hair's up in a messy bun. I like hardly ever wear makeup, so I never look really good, but I look really bad right now. And I'm making faces as if you can see me, which I really hope you can't. Alright, we got a little smash of silver that we can mix in. Let's see how much we have. And that is right at the 15 line, so I'll give it a few more stirs and I'll check the consistency. There's still a little speck of the silver that hasn't mixed in. Excuse me. I burped a little bit. I'm sorry. That was kind of rude. I might cut part of this out with me stirring the paint forever and ever and ever and ever, or fast forward it or something. Alright, now let's check. That's pretty good. I mean, I like that pretty well. It's not as, see, sometimes it like just comes, a big clump comes off, and then the rest runs off. So it's a little bit thick, but I really think I can thin this with the sprays this time, instead of trying to pour a little bit in and make it a mess, because it looks, the rest of it looks, I like the way that it looks. I like that consistency. It might be a tiny bit thick, but I think I will make it work. Alright, silicone. The silver we want a little bit less than we do in the others. So 1, 2, oh, it's just squirting out. So I like to count my drops, but sometimes it squirts out on its own. Okay, and now we'll spray 6 sprays of water, 6 sprays of alcohol, and that'll thin it a little bit. It'll take some of the bubbles out. Maybe that's what kills my silicone. I don't know, but I normally do between 3 and 6 sprays of alcohol, just to get some of the bubbles out. See, you see some of those bubbles right there? I don't know if that's bubbles or if that's silicone. But I really think the alcohol helps it come out of the cup better too. So we'll check the consistency. See, I don't like how it's just one big glob comes off and then the rest runs, but so I think it's still a little bit too thick. I'll try some more water. I don't normally use much water in my paint, but this Floetrol is thicker. That looks better. I don't know if you can see that. It just kind of runs, and you can see the line it makes on the top, like the mark where it hits the paint on the top. Okay, I'm going to leave that one alone. I don't want to mess it up again. Alright, now we'll go to our yellow, and this has our silicone. It's just a little bit thick. So we'll do some water and some alcohol. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I don't want to spray this all over the well, I have to clean the tiles anyway. Let me look at it. See that? It's getting lumpy. I don't know if that's from where it sat in that container. I don't know. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. The other night, whenever I did the other ones that I mixed up at the same time, I poured water into them. I didn't spray water into them, maybe. But then whenever I tried to pour into my silver, it was too much. It's just a little bit thick for some reason. I mean, maybe because it sat, and I'm new at this, so I'm not the best judge at all of this. I'm about to just call it done and use it and see what happens. Okay. Let's check. I'm going to move these back here while I stir up the new colors. No, it doesn't look too, it's just a little bit like stuck to the stick. I just went ahead for a bunch of water because the last two I had to put more in. That's better. And alcohol. I don't know why. Once the first blob comes off, then the rest runs well. So, I don't know. It looks good in the cup and stuff. That looks, we're just going to leave it. Okay. Maybe I'm using too much alcohol. I don't know. I hope you're still recording. I didn't intend for this to be 5 million years. I'm sorry. Once that first initial blob comes off, it runs pretty well. I don't know if that blob is like stuck because of the stick, stuck because of the silicone, or what. It's a little bit blobby. Oh, right. Oh well. Just gonna leave it alone. No one said I was perfect at anything, so if it turns out like crap, it turns out like crap. We're just testing it to see what's going to happen. Now what I'm going to do is spray off the tiles, clean off the tiles with some alcohol. I took those little, there's like the little plasticky pieces that separate them in the pack. I took those off, but I still need to spray some alcohol and clean them. Give me a clean surface to pour on. What I could do is post the whole video, and then I could post just like a condensed video, like just the part where I do the pour, the actual pouring part, as a separate video. I still may edit some stuff out because like I stirred forever and I had to redo that one paint. Or since this is my tester, I really may just post the whole video and take all of the complaints about how long it was and how stupid I am and how, I don't know, how it could be better. I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. There's like still some spots of sticky stuff from where those little plasticky pieces are in between the tiles. So I had to get all those off. We're going to put all these together as close together as I can get. See, there's one of those little plasticky pieces that popped up. Get that off of there. Alright, now what I'm going to do is take I don't remember if I used a 3-ounce cup. Yeah, I'll use a 3-ounce cup because I think I have about 2 ounces, a little bit over 2 ounces of paint. So what I'm going to do is layer my paint in my cup. What I should do is put these down in case I drip, so they don't get on my tiles yet. Now, how am I going to layer? I'm going to put a little bit of silver in the bottom and then spread it out so that it covers the bottom of the cup. And then I'm going to take, I think, my dark blue. It's darker. I'm not sure if this is ultramarine or if it's phthalo blue. I think it's ultramarine blue. Whoa. And I'm just going to pour all of that in there. Scrape it out. I'm sorry, you can't see this part very well. as it pours out, it comes out like it's about like how my paint normally is. So it might have seemed globby or thick, but it seems like there's little parts there that are globby, so we're gonna just put those back there. We're not gonna use that. And then I'm not gonna put a full layer of silver, I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of silver in the middle to kind of separate the colors some, but I want the colors to blend some too, because it should make a pretty green when it blends a little bit. And then I'm going to just pour the yellow in. And I have to turn it around to scrape it out because I am right-handed. And I'm not picky about how this layers in my cup. There's a blob. We're going to take that glob out. We don't want the glob in our paint. I don't know if that glob is from where it sat for 2 days, even though it was in a container with a lid, or if it's from the Floetrol, or I don't know where the globs are coming from like that. So I will put gloves on whenever I'm ready to pour, but I'm not going to put them on yet. Okay, and then we're going to put a little bit of silver in here again. You can already see a little bit where I guess I put a little bit more that time. You can see around the edges. I don't want to tilt that too much. I hope you can see around the edges where the blue and the green, or the blue and the yellow are already starting to make the green. And then we're just going to put this lighter blue on top. And now I realize I meant to put the lighter blue in first and the darker blue on top. But, oh well. Oh well, I can't change it now. Scrape this out. Okay, scrape that out and put that over there. Wipe my fingers. And now we're going to put the silver that's left on the top. I'm going to try to go around a lot of that blue though. And I'm glad I put the paper towel down because I just dripped some silver onto the paper towel. Alright, and we'll put that over there. Push it back out of the way, wipe our fingers. And the other pours that I've just done flip cups until I've done one where I've used leftover paint and then just drizzled along. The other day, over the weekend, is the first time I poured in the cup like this and then just drizzled it over and then tilted. So, and I did it 2 at a time that way, and then I did 2, and then I took all my leftovers and scraped it up and put it back in and did 2 more. This is the first time I'm doing 4 at once like this, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I'm not sure. I'm going to move these paints off of here. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do the pouring. I don't know if I want to go like diagonal or if I want to go across like back and forth, or if I just want to go in the middle and watch it go out like a normal flip cup. I think I'll do the diagonal. I'll start up here and I'll just pour and I'll zigzag around and I'll make my way back. And I think I'll just keep doing that until I run out of paint. Okay, now I still have like half my paint left. So I'm going to try to go the opposite way a little bit because I didn't get up to the corner up there very well. See, this is selling now, and I was just saying how this silicone doesn't sell very well. But I'm getting sales right now. I have a little bit left, but what I'm going to do is leave that in there. And I have some other things over here. I don't know. I have these. It's like cardstock and different things that sometimes I soak up my drips with those. So I'm just going to let that sit for a minute and just let the paint go where it wants to. And I'm gonna, I like that I'm getting cells this time. This paint, like, or this silicone doesn't sell very well most of the time. It's just little, like very little, and I'd say once I tilt, they're gonna go away, because they always do. But I like the way that they look right now. I don't know which one to start with. And I don't know how to do it without dripping from one to the rest of them. And to get it in the screen. You'll have to give me a minute to think about it. I guess I can start with this one. I'm actually going to get up and I'm going to see if I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to get up and check the camera to make sure if I like tilt over in here that you can still see it. Barely. So I wonder if I can just scooch all these, flatten out my shower curtain liner and just scooch all these up. Yeah. If I fold this up some, well, that doesn't really change much. A little bit, and scooch them up a little bit. There we go. And I think I'll start with this one. And we'll just pick it up. And I have no particular pattern in which I tilt. I just kind of see what I like on there and tilt, tilt a little bit. And right now I'm trying to keep it in the camera, which will be better whenever I get a tripod for my actual camera instead of use my cell phone. Piled up on a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna, I like that selling right there though, but I need to pull the paint over here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. The reason I use like a lighter blue and a darker blue is because I think I'm making these to give to my dad. My dad likes blue, and I made a set for my mom. My mom likes pink. I made hers with pink, like 2 magentas, a light magenta and a dark magenta, and then yellow is my favorite color, so I use this cadmium yellow light hue, and I use silver in hers. So my dad likes blue, so I picked a lighter blue and a darker blue, and then the same yellow and the same silver. So if these turn out well, I may give these to my dad. And he's probably watching my video, so I think he already knows. So we'll just go back this way a little bit. I think maybe I could have used a little bit more paint if I'm doing 4 at a time, which I ended up doing 4 the other day, but for some reason it doesn't seem to have as much, I don't seem to have as much paint today. Like I want it to go to that corner, but I don't want to lose some of the stuff. I mean, I have to check my corners too, and like I can take this drip here and pat on that side. I like doing them 1 at a time because I like to focus on one, but whenever I mix up so much paint, it ended up being enough for 4 the other day, and I mixed up the same amount of paint in these colors, so I figured I would give 4 at a time a try. But I can see just the paint running off the other ones while I'm working on this one. it's not running off too much. My table's on level a little bit, so it's kind of running to that side a little bit. Yeah, let's help that along a little bit. And then we'll go back here. I've almost got all the sides on this one. There's a spot right here I don't have. I'm sorry, you might not even be able to see what I'm doing. There's a spot there that I'm trying to cover. Maybe if I tilt it this way. I know you can't see whenever I do that. Maybe if I tilt it this way, you can get that. I still don't know if you can see that. I really may just upload the whole video and use it as a learning experience to see what I did wrong and what I did right, so that I know for next time there. We'll just help that along. And I kind of like this one, how it has like the line, like the wavy lines. Has a little bit of, it's not really selling. You can just see little bits of the other colors popping through, but it doesn't really look like cells. But it's still kind of cool looking, I think. Touching the side, I want to get all my sides. I need to go back this way because we're losing paint over here because it's looking kind of white right around the edges. If I try to add a little bit back, it still takes more off. Huh. I have a palette knife I could use to get the edges. For right now, I'm going to set this one down and see what it does while it sits down, and I'm going to tilt another one, and then I can use the leftovers to touch up the sides with the palette knife. I think this one, I really like this one. I know when I tilt it towards myself you can't see it as well, but I really like this one. And these get paint all over the back. I'm hoping whenever I buy cork backing that sticks to there and doesn't, I hope it doesn't matter that there's paint on the back once I get the cork backing for them. And I'm going to get some countertop resin, and I'm going to test out countertop resin. I'd like to test out the car engine spray too, but I think I'm going to test those on the ones I did over the weekend. A lot of people say that resin has a much better finish, so we'll see. It moves so slowly. My paint was a little bit thick, and I think I needed a little bit more paint to do 4 at once. So instead of filling those up to the 15 line, I think next time if I'm doing 4 at once, I'll fill them up to the 20 line, so that I'll have a lot more left over, but that's from the drips, but that's fine. It'll cover the pieces a lot easier that way. I liked this one at first, but then I'm so new that I'm just learning how to do this. I like them so well at first, and then I start doing the tilting and trying to get all the sides, and then it kind of messes up the stuff that I like. But I like how you can see that darker streak through there. I'm trying to get the paint to go the way I want it, but I want you to be able to see it too, but I have to be able to see it. I'm sorry. This is a learning experience video. I like this. I like how it's coming out. It's just very slow. Oh, we're getting some green now where it's mixing. I like that. I mean, I guess I could have made sure to layer the silver between the colors better. Oh my goodness. Let's tilt back this way for a while, because that's getting very white from where I'm doing it all over that way. I can see a lot of paint in the center on the table, like between where they all were. So I may have to scrape some up with the palette knife and fix the sides. Man, this one's turning really green. Paint's not really going back that way. Let's get this big palette knife. Take some of that. The color kind of matches. I mean, it doesn't look real great, but just enough, put enough on there for it to run off so that I can cover the sides. And then it'll run off better when it has paint next to it. Maybe. That was my intention. Scrape underneath here to get some. I'm checking all my sides. Scrape under here. See, now this is turning rather white. The white's coming through in the back. Maybe take a little bit of that. Yeah, we've lost a lot of paint there. Let's take some of this paint out of here and put on here and let it run back off. Some of the drips from over there, and then let it run off. Whoa! Poopy. I hate when I drop it. I almost dropped it. Gotta do that corner. Oh my goodness, this video is gonna be like forever. Now it just looks like a little flower poking up there, kind of. The white's showing through around the edges because I really don't think there was quite enough paint. Put some more on there and let that run off. Okay, I think that one's pretty though, even though I'm running out of, I'm not having enough paint. Let's try these two and see what happens. These ones seem to have more paint than those ones did. Alright, we'll just go straight for that side and that corner. Excuse me. I ate a bunch of tomatoes tonight and they make me burp a little bit from the acid, I think. I love tomatoes though. I'm sorry. I keep turning this away from the camera. This one, all the sides are, this side I'm looking at is good. That side has a spot that needs some. But these ones that I left on the table have more paint on them. Maybe I should have just let them sit on the table longer before I started tilting. But I think these two down here didn't have as much paint on them to begin with. That one has a big dark blue section. It's cool. Did we get, let's take that drip and get that corner. Scrape all that off of there. Scrape all of that off of there. And now this side needs just a little bit. That's that dark streak, that's so pretty. I can see on the first one where some of the white's showing through, where I think it needs a little. I can put some of the drips and then put some of the drips on there and let them run off. This one looks like it might be selling a little bit. There's a little bit of almost selling on those other ones. But I don't really get sales very much. They come out in the beginning and then they run off whenever I do my tilting. A few little ones came through there. I know all of that part from the center is going over there because I'm trying to get it to come off the edge there. But I can just tap some of those drips onto the side maybe. And then this edge, this yellow edge, I don't want to lose too much of that yellow edge because I really like that yellow right there. But I need it to come over the side a little bit, and I don't have yellow that I can scrape up to put on there. Maybe out of my cup. I'm sorry, I keep doing this away from the camera. I do it where I can see it, and then I forget that you probably can't see it. See, I don't want to lose that yellow by trying to run that off that side, but I need... Let's see. I need to get that side. See where that's completely not covered? I'm going to end up making it green, but I don't want to lose that yellow, but I need to cover that side. I love that big yellow chunk right there. So I'm going to pull this back away from the edge so that I can keep that yellow chunk. Trying to get that back to the center too, but I don't think it'll go back that far. Maybe. It doesn't have to be perfectly center. Yeah, it's not bad. Close enough. And then we have that yellow there, and I can, this is kind of greenish, but I can take, oh poop, I got some blue up on there. I can take some of this yellow from this side. I want that. Let's see. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can find my yellow cup and see if I have, I probably got my shirt in that and everything. See if I can get, let's take a paintbrush and get a little bit of yellow out of that to put on that edge. It's going to make it green because I had some green down in there, but now we're just, nope, now I just took it all off. And now I'm making it green. Let's see if I can, I'm trying to get yellow on the edge of that paint, the edge of that tile. Just enough to come over the edge. Let's try another palette knife. And then it has like a, now it has a blue or green line in it, but it has a little, that yellow came to the edge almost. Perfect. It has like a green line or a blue line in it, but it came to the edge almost. And now I'm going to tilt just a little bit back to try to get that. I still have some yellow paint on there that I can put on there. There we go. That doesn't have to be exactly, I like that one. I'm just going to leave it alone. We're going to put that one over here. I like that a lot now that I look at it. Stop touching the sides. All right, one more. Uno más. I did this Spanish lessons and Italian lessons last year, the Unit 1 from Pimsleur on Audible, and I still once in a while say things in Spanish and Italian. I can't speak the languages. I'd love to learn to fluently speak the languages. I need to do the lessons again, and I have Unit 2, 3, 4, and 5 on both of them too, but I've just never started back into them. I really need to. I would love to learn to become fluent in more languages. Okay, tilting off to this side so much, but I'm not getting the corner. Sometimes you just have to take the drips to get the corner. This one has a lot of silver in it and a lot of yellow in it. I don't know which way I want to go with this. I'm sorry. This is the fourth one, and then I'm going to, the first one I can see some white spots, and I can see some, then I'm going to have to go back and check the edges and check for like where paint is missing and take my drips and fill in where I'm missing stuff. I don't want to lose all that, so we're going to go this way now. This one's going to have a huge silver section though. Maybe that's silver on that first one where it looks white from here. Like right there it looks like a white spot, but maybe that's the silver. I don't even know if this is still recording because this has been an hour. No one's going to want to watch an hour-long video. I am slow and I take my time. Alright, we're getting there, but I don't want to take all of that blue paint off that side. I don't want to take all the yellow paint off of this side. So we have to do it a little bit one way and a little bit the other way. Man, that one over there, that one, there's like a whole lot of blue, dark blue. That's really pretty. And this one has more yellow. Just take what's underneath and touch the sides to get all the sides and all the corners. And then we'll go back this way. And since this is a lot of yellow, so we'll take all that and touch That side's pretty good. Now we just have to get off this corner here. That's weird how that looks white, but it's silver. I used the silver paint. I hope it dries sparkly then. You can hear my dog sighing in the background probably. She just wants to go to bed. It's 3:30 in the morning. And she has no idea who I'm talking to. Having a heck of a time getting that. It's all running off over here, but it's not going to that corner. Let's do that for a minute. I can't believe how that dark blue streak in that one, that's so pretty. Let's see. Having a hard time. Here we go. Take these clumps and get. It's not the right color though. Sorry, I'm mumbling. That's more the color. This color here. No, that's more green. We're going to end up with a green corner, but I think if I just add a little bit and touch it, it kind of, let's add some blue. It kind of helps draw the paint on top down. We're going to end up with a weird corner there, but the paint wasn't running off that corner. Still trying to run the paint off that corner, and I'm trying not to drop it, but let's tilt it back this way some. There's a yellow corner over here that doesn't quite have coverage. I take my palette knives and scrape underneath. Eventually, like even if there's too much paint and it keeps running off the sides, eventually it stops running and it just dries. And it dries into the side, and it doesn't look like a bump on the side. It just looks like, I'm sorry, my face itches. It doesn't look like a bump on the side. It just looks like a run, or like where it had ran. I don't know. Okay. I think we've got all the edges, so now I'm just trying to see. Sorry, my face itches again. Just trying to see if I want to tilt it any more. Excuse me. If I want to tilt it any certain way. If I want to put more paint on any side. I don't know. It looks like a white stripe, but that has to be the silver. And I love the big yellow section through there. I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave that for now. They all look so different. It's so cool how they're all the same colors, but they look so different. I'm going to take this first one back because I had trouble getting the paint to the sides. And see, right in there, that looks white, but I wonder... So I thought that the paint was coming away from the edges, and right around the edges it might be. But I think that might be the silver, because that looks so white right there. I bet once it dries, it'll be kind of silver and sparkly. I don't think that the edges are really... I don't think that I need work on the edges except for maybe this corner here. Put a little bit of blue up there. And see how you can see how that's running over a little bit. But when it dries, it won't look bad. If you wait I mean, if I wait just a minute whenever I'm done with this, yeah, I don't want to mess with that. I can go in and get the ones that I did the other day and show you how they dried. This thing that I have it on, I need one more of those kind of containers to set it on because they're really good for propping the tiles on. I think I'm just gonna leave them like that and see how they dry. Whoops, tore a hole in that glove. So these ones I probably won't wash. I'll probably throw away. I don't know. Well, I do my drip smashes. I'll do one of my drip smashes to show you how I do them, and then I'll do the rest after I turn the camera off. I have different types of cardstock, and some of them have like a texture, and I love the ones with the texture. I don't know if you can see the texture on that. It's more like a canvas texture. What I do, oh poop, I almost spilled the paint on me. I just scrape everything over. Some of my drip smashes are really pretty, but the last few that I've been doing, I haven't liked very well. I'm just going to pour this paint that's left over here. And have my leftover paint kind of in the center. And I take the textured side. Some of my cardstock doesn't have the textured side, but I'll take the textured side and I'll put that down and I'll wipe this off. I save my paint covered paper towels, some of them, because whenever I started art a long time ago, I started with art journaling and mixed media stuff. So I save all my paper towels and I use them again, or sometimes I always have the intention to use them later for a mixed media piece, but I actually never do. Once I discovered pouring, I love pouring. See, I just kind of smash it in and I turn it over, and that has some of those little plastic pieces that go between the tiles and the box. So I'll take that out, and then it's not all the way covered, so I'll put it down again. And I get paint on the back. I have the intention to use these cards as, like, if I get ones that I like, I can put them, make greeting cards out of them. You can buy blank greeting cards and put them on the front of them. Or I can cut them up and use them as, I just keep doing it until I get it all covered. But you can cut them up and use them as tags, like for Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or something. I keep getting pink, this shower curtain liner. I keep ending up with paint skins in my drip smashes. And I like how the colors go together and make a pretty green. That's not my favorite one. I don't like that very well at all, but I'm just going to leave it alone. And I'll do a few more little pieces after I'm finished with this, just to soak up all the paint, because I don't want to waste the paint. I'm going to go get the tiles I did the other day and show you kind of how they look when they dry. Sorry, I'm going to show you how the tiles look when they dry. Wow, I'm walking behind the camera now, and I see that it is an hour and 11 minutes, and I don't even think I can see most of my tiles that I've moved out of the way. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we will see. Here's one of the ones I did the other day. These were, I said at the beginning of the video, it was a darker yellow and one of the blues, I can't remember which one of the darker blues, I think it was phthalo blue, and white and gold. But see, it kept dripping. You can see a little bit, it's a little bit rough right there. It kept, my table was unlevel and it had a lot of extra paint. It kept dripping to the side. So you can see kind of how it's, but I like the textured look and how it's kind of lined. anyway, and how it kept dripping over the side. But when it's dried, you can't tell how, I mean, you can kind of tell a little bit. I can tell because I know like there was a drip, extra drip. But once I get, once they sit for a long time and I take the silicone off and I put some kind of coating on, you're not going to be able to tell. And these are what I did. This is one of the ones I did after I scraped up all the leftover paint from the first two. So it didn't have as much paint. There's a little bit, you can see something might peel that might be silicone or something that I can peel off. And then this is one of the first ones I did, and this one you can see it pulled to this side and it's a little bit textured looking there, but it's kind of it looks kind of like that there too. And then on the side where the runoff was, you can see it, but I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me. Whenever I start making ones to sell, I'll probably try to be a little bit better about it. But if you look at it on this side, it didn't run over this side, but that's just kind of how it looks the way I initially tilted the paint off. So I think once I seal them, like clean the silicone and seal them, and if I get enough coats of resin or something on there, I don't think you're going to be able to tell. So I think it'll be fine. And those are the 4 that I did the other day. And now I'm going to move them back out of the way. And I am going to maybe move these back this way to make sure they're in the view. I hope you can't see me very well. I'm trying really hard not to drop them and not to touch them. Oh, poop. Okay. Put them back in view. I'll scrape around the sides if I can get to them. And then I'm going to, I don't know if, I can't get to the sides right now. I'm not going to do all that on camera, but I don't know how much editing I'm going to do. I'm sorry this one's really long. This is my test video to see how to go about doing painting videos. The next time I'll try to make it shorter. I probably won't have the mixing up of my paint in the video. I may post like a long video of the whole thing with just a few pieces cut out, and then I may do a second, I think I put my arm on my drip smash, then I may do a second video where it's just the tiles, and maybe fast forward through the tilting and me talking. I don't know. I really don't know. This is just a test for me to see about doing painting videos. Once I get a new tripod for my camera, I will be happy. Right now I have my phone propped up on a chair, on 2 stools, on 2 empty boxes, and I have like some other stuff kind of pushing it up so that it's like up, so that it gets this part of my table. I don't even know that it gets this part back here. But anyway, please subscribe to my channel. Once I get a new tripod for my camera, I'm going to try to post some more painting videos. Once I get the tripod, I'm going to try to start doing my oracle card reading videos again. I'd like to start out with maybe 1 oracle card reading a week and 1 painting video a week, but I don't know. Sometimes I paint a lot in a week, and sometimes I go a couple weeks where I don't paint. I haven't been reading oracle cards for a while, so I don't know how soon I'm going to start on that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share. And tell me what you think of my tiles. And tell me if there's anything you think I can do better. please tell me, because I just started painting pouring paint 2 months ago. So I can take I will take any suggestions that you may have. And I'm sorry that it's so long. There are parts that I should cut out, and I know I keep saying that, but I really may not. I really just may leave it like this as my test video, and then make, like, going forward, find ways to make them shorter. But thanks for watching. I don't know if you can see me waving. Thank you. Bye.